Hey guys, Rhett here. What's going on? At my client Sai's first Section 8 rental property. Guys, I am so excited for Sai. He's never been to this house. He's never stepped foot in this city. He's got multiple other houses under contract right now. He's going to have a multiple property portfolio of all Section 8 units inside of a couple of months. So he just closed on this house. Purchase price here was $50,000. Rehab work here was $47,000. Virtually everything in this house needs to be done. It needs new flooring. It needs tons and tons of woodwork and wrought. I'm going to try and do as much of the video out here as I can because there's such bad mold inside. I don't want to breathe it in too long. It needs new furnaces. It needs all the Section 8 items. We're building a new bedroom. It needs tons of electrical work. It needs a lot of plumbing work. It needs a lot of stuff done. There was at one point the roof, which is now newer, had caved in. So the people that owned it, they didn't take care of the house the right way. They put a new roof on, great, but they didn't remediate any of the saturated and molded wood that is above the ceiling. You'll see as we move forward through the house that there is parts of the ceiling that are caving in. There is a lot of woodwork and trim that's missing or that's rotted through. There are some holes in the walls. It's really beat up on the inside of this thing, all due to water. And water damage, if any contractors or people who are familiar with home remodels or remediation understand, water is our worst enemy. No matter where it is, it's the worst thing. It does such bad damage. Water and fire do damage like nothing else. So we're going to walk through this. It's a 4-bedroom house, guys, Section 8. It's going to bring in about $1,300 a month. And you talk about $1,300 a month on a property that you're all into for under $100K, in a really nice street, in a really nice area. Ironically, a client of mine actually owns the house next door as well, which is great because the more units we can control on one street, the more we can change the dynamics of the entire area. So we understand, hey, we put a really good person in there next door, and then we put a really good person in here. We start to elevate the standards and quality of everybody on the street, which is something that you can't really do unless you have a strong presence in a market or unless you buy a lot of properties yourself. Okay, so guys, let's walk through it. I don't want to be in here forever. I'm going to point out some things that need to be fixed, and please, any questions about this, leave your questions and comments below. I'm going to get to all of them. Let's head on in. Okay, all right guys, so it looks good, right? Everything looks okay. The floor, it might look good. It's LVP and it was laid totally incorrectly. It's bubbling virtually everywhere. Every step you take, you sink about 1/4 of an inch. It's uncomfortable to walk on. Everything here, guys, you can see the mold on the walls. People say, what is all that black discoloration on the walls? That is all mold. Those are all mold spores. So the entire house, guys, is covered in mold. It's disgusting, okay? All the electrical in here, they're all 3-prong outlets. None of them are grounded. You have doors like this. Someone explain to me, look at this. This is one of those doors that you can unlatch. Oh, well, at one point, come on in here. So this was like one of those doors that you could open and open half of it, but someone along the line nailed it shut so that it can't do that. So you guys can tell, just really nasty. The whole house is really beat up. We have so much moisture in here that all this paint is flaking and chipping, coming right off the walls. And it's almost unbearable, guys, in here. So here's actually a good example of the same door that was in there. Okay, but in this instance, someone just took the top piece out. So coming in here, as we move into this room right here, so you guys can see we have all bare walls here. And this is where all the water came in, as you guys can tell. This is everything. So all the water saturated. This wall, can you guys, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Okay, see how when you look, how you have all of those yellow polyps. That's all mold. You don't want to disturb that at all. Okay, all those polyps, that's all mold all over that wood. So All the water was coming in here. They ripped everything out. We're going to rebuild this room. We have issues with the electrical. All this stuff, guys, needs to be redone, okay? We have holes in the walls. If you come through here, you can see through the other room, through a hole right there. You might be able to see that that's the only place where there's light coming in, okay? There you go. So you can see that. You can actually see into that bedroom, okay? We're going to get out of this room. That's where the mecca of all the mold is. So here as well, you can see we had water coming in through the ceiling too here. We're going to replace a ton of these tiles, repaint this entire house, replace the doors, all new light fixtures, electrical throughout the whole place, guys. This is bedroom 2. That's a pretty ugly door if I've ever seen one. We need a new furnace in here also. Come into here. We have bedroom number 3. Newer windows, terrible floor. Terrible floor. It probably looks good in the pictures, but if you look, you can see the huge gaps, and they're everywhere. They're all over the place. So you can just see. Ooh, excuse me, it's terrible. We got to get out of here. So bad in here also. Coming in here, guys. This is, I have to say, I'm impressed. I have to say I'm impressed. This is the ugliest kitchen I've seen all year. This wins the 2023 Ugliest Kitchen Award. Great. Look at this. This is like when you're in science class in middle school and you sit at those desks to do experiments. This is awful. So guys, we're basically gonna gut the whole kitchen. This whole thing's coming out. All new flooring, all new cabinets, all new cupboards. We're gonna build them around these windows. We're gonna take that refrigerator out of here. Refrigerator is gonna go right here. We're gonna do stove either in here, up again. We'll probably put the stove actually right there because there's electrical coming through there. We got to change out all these outlets to GFIs. We got to bring everything up to code in this entire room. This house has a very bizarre metal ceiling in half of the house. Half of the house is a drywall sheetrock ceiling. Half of the house is metal. Kind of adds a nice industrial feel, and it would feel a lot better if half the house wasn't saturated in water. But what we're going to do is we're going to replace all the rotted everything in here, fix everything. You've got walls that are peeling off because of the moisture. So what we're going to do is once we replace all this, we're going to redo all the plumbing in here and do everything we need to, all new electrical outlet, light fixtures and everything. Then what we're going to do is we're going to wall off this entire piece, okay? We're going to keep this area right here. We're going to put a door here. This is going to be bedroom number 4. So I am now standing in bedroom number 4, which is going to be great. I don't know what the fascination with these barn doors were, but this is pretty bad. It makes no sense at all. We're going to wall all this in. We're going to make this your big kitchen behind us. This is going to be bedroom number 4. We're going to build a closet in here, and we're going to make that a really, really nice bedroom. Really nice. And one of the things, let's go outside and talk about this, but one of the things that Cy really wanted to accomplish, and all my clients want to accomplish, it's all about how we can utilize, it's all about how we can utilize what we have with the space that we have available. And one thing we need to focus on when we do that is, okay, here's our space. We have a big unit, big square footage, and that's not being used up to its maximum potential. So what can we do? Well, we found that in that kitchen, there's a lot of wasted space. And we're going to do a big demo of that kitchen anyway. So why don't we just take a big piece of the square footage in that kitchen, roughly 150, 160 square feet, take it and turn it into a bedroom. And that's what we realized was the best way to do things, because we're not sacrificing anything. You still have plenty of room for a huge dining room. You have room for a huge living room. You add another bedroom, and it just gives you the ability to put another person in this unit, add $100 to the rent to bring the rent up to $1,300 a month, guaranteed Section 8, and create an asset that cash flows more money for you. The biggest part about it is when you send your contractors to these units, and that's what our contractors do for all of our clients. They come out to these units, they give full scopes and give you a full evaluation of everything that needs to be done, and done to Section 8 standards, right? Which is different than done to an HGTV flip or a house that doesn't have to follow the strict guidelines of Section 8. So it's very important to have contractors that understand Section 8. But when they come out to these houses, that's what they look for. How can we maximize this unit for our client? How can we do this inside of the budget? How can we make sure we're putting things in this unit where we're not breaking the bank, but we're also putting things in the unit that are going to withstand a lot of beating and withstand maintenance over the next 20 years and are good quality products that our tenants can use and not have to worry about breaking, and us as landlords don't have to worry about fixing it. But I'll tell you what, we know what's quality and we know what to put in units, because there's nothing worse than if you go too cheap, things break all the time, tenants get frustrated, and it costs you money. Everybody loses. You put good quality stuff in units, and things that are durable and last a long time, the tenants never have a problem with it. It never affects their life, and it never affects your wallet. And guys, in order to understand how to do that stuff, you have to have the experience. You have to have a team that understands this is what we put in, this is where we buy, this is how we change layouts that are going to affect our wallet in a positive way, but not affect the tenant in a negative way, like adding that bedroom there, okay? When someone moves in here, nobody's going to ever know that it wasn't a bedroom at one point. So if you need help, if you want to do this, you want to change your life, you want to start building wealth and do it through real estate, as whether you want another source of income, another income stream to supplement your life, or this is what you want to do full-time eventually, which I hope eventually for everybody that it is. We can build a big portfolio and live off that one day. Send me an email in the link below. We'll get you started. We've done this so many times. It doesn't matter where you're at right now, whether you have no real estate experience or a ton of real estate experience. Let's get you started. We'll see you next time.